Hello beautiful people, welcome back to another video. So students, before you feel my DM asking for study tips and how to pass exams, I said let me do these videos for you guys. So I'll be doing a story time and also tips on how I used to study and how I used to pass exams in nursing school. But then you can also tell me down on the comment section which other videos you'd like me to create, because you just don't say help us pass exams. Like, what about it? Like, when it comes to study, what is the problem when it comes to study, so that I can help you on how to study, especially in nursing school. So today I'll be sharing the tips. This is just not for nursing school but also for other students, even if you're not a nursing student. So before I get into the tips, let me just share a typical day for me when I'm studying for an exam. Let's say I have exams next week, so I'm studying this week for my exams. What does a typical day for me look like? So it all depends with you as a person, because we don't have the same way of studying, and also we are not the same. Yeah, everyone is different in their own way. So you should understand your own way of studying. Just know that the way my friend studies or the way my roommate studies is not this same way that I should be studying. Don't compare yourself to other people. And also, like, you know, most people usually do last minute type of studying. Like, people wait until, let's say, tomorrow is Monday, that's when the first paper is starting. Most people usually wait for Saturday and Sunday, that's when they're studying. But maybe that doesn't work for you. There's some people who have to study every other day they have to be studying for them to grasp that content, so that they can be able to pass the exams. There's some people, if they study last minute, they won't get anything. So the thing is just to realize how you study, and also just to believe in yourself. Like, for me, one thing that really helped me is that I usually just believe in myself. Even before I see that paper, I usually know I've already passed. I've not even seen the paper, but I just know I've already passed. Like, I've already believed that I've already passed. So that belief system is what is really going to help you out here. Because let me tell you, what happened is that when I joined nursing school, during the orientation week, we were told if you do exams and you fail, you're going to do a supplementary exams, you're going to pay for that supplementary exams. And I was like, no, is that no for me? Like, me, I don't like exams, so doing it twice or thrice is a no. So it's a must. We're going to pass here. It's a must for us to pass, because you're not going to do another extra exam. So just telling myself that is already like a 30% win, because I've already told myself that I'm going to pass. That means that my mindset has already passed. If you're getting what I'm saying, just believing in it, believing even before you see that exam, believing even before you start studying, you've already believed. That will just like give you a win already. Yeah. And so luckily, when I was in nursing school, believe me, I passed all my exams, all the cards, all the main exams, all the final exam, nursing council exam. Like, I passed all of them without even doing a second trial. Not to brag, but just to tell you that it can work if you believe in yourself. Yeah, that is just what I'm trying to say. So a typical day for me used to be like this. Because I'm not a morning person, I never used to study in the morning that much. Like, I never used to be that person who wakes up at 4 a.m. to study, because my roommate is a morning person. So for my roommate, for her, she used to wake up even at 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and study like the entire morning. But for me, I used to look at her, but at times usually feel that thing that I also have exams and I'm still sleeping. But then I'm not a morning person. I cannot understand well in the morning. That is what I had to understand. So like, I used to wake up and look at her studying, and I was like, it's her time to study. Like, that's her. And I just turn the blanket on the other side and I sleep. So I wake up at 8, I take breakfast, and then I study till like 11, and then I go for group discussion till like when it's almost lunchtime, and then I go back home, take lunch, and then after lunch, that's when I'll again study for like an hour or so. But then during the afternoon, I never used to use my book because I'm so sleepy and it gets a little bit boring. So because I'm a visual learner, I used to use videos. Maybe I go to YouTube, I watch a video about a certain condition, or maybe I use past papers on my phone. Like, at that time, you just think that I'm just on my phone, but then I'm still studying but using another method. And then in the evening, that's when I'll again study again for like almost 3 hours, and then I go to sleep. So I usually give myself breaks. Like, even in the afternoon, I just don't study the entire afternoon until 7 in the evening. Like, just like for 2 hours. And then after that, like, for me and my roommate, like, after we studied for until like 4, 5, we used to go to school and then go to church. Like, she was in the SD and I was in the Catholic group. We go, we pray, you sing until like you give yourself that break. And then after that, you go buy supper, you eat supper, and then you study, and then you sleep. Like most people usually deprive themselves of the fact that they are human beings and they have to live only because they have exams. Like there's this day we are having our final exams, and then we meet one of our classmates, and then this guy was buying a banana, and then we were like, when today you're going to eat banana for dinner, and he's like, hey, these exams are coming and I'm so busy, I cannot have time to cook, I'm just going to eat this banana and I'm going to go back for like group discussions. And like, so you've not eaten ever since morning, you're only going to eat banana for dinner and then you sleep only because you have exams? Like, why are you going to die for exams? We're not dying for exams. Yeah. So the first thing is to learn your place of study. Like, are you comfortable to study at home, or are you comfortable to study when you're in a classroom, or when you're out in like open air? Like, understand your place of study, because place of study is so important, because this will minimize distractions and also for you to concentrate and understand what you're studying. So there are people who don't study at home because they're saying when they're at home, because most of the time, most college students, you only have your bed and you cannot study on your bed, you'll fall asleep. So most people don't study at home, they come and study in the library. Some people don't study in the library because it's too silent. Like me, I just hate the fact that the library is so silent that you can't even, when you cough, someone is looking at you as if you're distracting them from studying only because you've coughed. So like, I don't like the library. Other people, they don't like open air because they'll keep on looking at people are passing, and they won't concentrate. So it's for you to understand your place of study. Don't use other people's place of study only because you feel like that is what is making them pass exams. Like, maybe you might see a student who performs so well going to study in the library. That doesn't mean that when you go to study in the library, you'll also like pass the way she's passing. Yeah, that doesn't happen. Just understand your place of study. Okay, I'll be giving you examples with myself. So for me, I used to study at home because I had a table and a stool. So I used to study at home, and that was okay for me because at home I can talk. Like me, in the middle of study, like I want to talk to someone and maybe ask them a question in the middle of studying. I want to even laugh. Like, I just don't want to make it so serious because I won't understand if I make it so serious. So understand your place of study. And then number 2 is the use of past papers for revision. So if you haven't tried this, past papers usually work so much. The moment I realized they really work is when there's a certain day they set exams for us, and then the exams was from a previous paper that we had done in a group discussion, the entire exam. You can imagine that. So they usually even pick some questions from those past papers, and also they give you an idea of how exams are set and what kind of questions are usually set. And then number 3 is group discussions. So for group discussions, you should know when and how to use group discussions. Like, I usually find them more beneficial if you go for discussions after you have already like studied. Like, you've studied the entire morning and now you're so tired and you cannot concentrate anymore. I think that's when like group discussions really come in. Yeah. But whichever way you use group discussion depends on you, because we had students, like for them, they used to study the entire day as a group, like from morning to evening as a group, and that worked for them. So that's why I'm telling you, like, you just realize a way that works for you, and then you just like go for it. So from group discussions, that brings me to the 4th point, which is to teach someone else what you already know. So you can use group discussions to teach other people what you already know, or you can be even in a like group of 2 and then you teach your friend like a subject that you already know. This will really help you to understand more. Like, when you keep on repeating the same thing each and every time you're teaching someone about it, you end up understanding more. Like for me, the things that I was good at when I was in college, like the topics that I was good at, the ones that I used to teach other people, until today, I've never forgotten about them. Like, I can just recite it for you. And this is because I kept on repeating it while teaching other people. So this makes you memorize it, and at least it will reduce the amount of time you have to study, because if you already memorize a certain topic, you won't have to study it every other time you have exams. Because for nursing school, exams that you're doing first year, you can have a question even in 3rd year that for an exam that you did in 1st year. So when you had already memorized something, you don't have to keep on reading it again because it's already in your brain. So memorizing it, for me, like anytime that maybe I don't have people to do a group discussion with, like when I was in high school, what I used to do, I had a kind of a Blackboard. So in this Blackboard, I assume I'm teaching someone. I assume I'm a teacher and I'm teaching a certain subject, let's say maths. So I assume I have invisible students and I'm teaching them maths, and I have a chalk and I'm teaching and I'm trying to make these invisible people understand, and I'm repeating, and this made me like memorize most of the concepts in mathematics, and like this really helped me to do well in mathematics. So the same thing in college, teach other people what you already know, and this will really help you memorize these concepts. Yeah, and it will really make it easier for you to pass exams, because you don't have to keep on studying the same thing. You did a cut last week, you are studying, you have a main exams in 2 weeks, you want again to take the same book and start studying afresh. No, you just have to memorize. And even at times you can just put your books away and start like teaching each other what you know. It really helps. Yeah. And then lastly is having fun. Like, have fun while studying. So you can always, let's say you are just walking around with your friends, you can always just bring in a question and then like to see like who can get it, and maybe you get to buy them something. So just make it to be fun and entertaining so that it can become memorable too. And also like using of mnemonics and like finding a way to like make it easier to understand. Like with a group of friends, you can find maybe a certain song that usually relates to a certain topic or a certain mnemonic, and then you say it while you're walking around. Just like let studying be fun. Yeah. And then the last one before I forget is using your clinicals. So when you go for clinicals, that is when you'll see most of these conditions. So this is most probably for the nursing students. When you go for clinicals, you'll see these conditions. Just don't just read about them, but also get to understand them through seeing. It's really good for visual learners. Like you go for ward rounds. So during those ward rounds, find that most of the doctors, they usually discuss these conditions, because if it is a teaching hospital, they'll have maybe students, clinical medicine students, so they'll be able to like teach them some of these conditions and ask questions. There was this clinical medicine student, he was asked the types of breach, yeah, and he wasn't able to. I think he gave a certain answer that everyone started laughing, and so that doctor was like, you are laughing, do you know the answer? Tell us the answer. And the other ones were even giving even worse answers, and everyone's laughing about it. So something like that is something I will never forget, because I even remember like the correct answers, the wrong answers, you know. So go for those whole rounds, make it fun. And even when you are in the hospital or there with nurses, get to like ask them questions. If you see them doing a certain procedure, you ask questions, and you just make clinicals a place to learn, because these are things that you'll be using your eyes to see, so you won't be able to forget. Use your eyes to see, use your hands to do, you won't forget. If you have any question or if you have a video suggestion, you can leave it down on the comment section, and I'll really try to make a video about it. Or you can also DM me on my Instagram at Loise Oduor, or Facebook at Loise Oduor, or you can use the number down below to support me, and also to ask for any question or give a content suggestion, and I'll really appreciate that. And so for today, that's a wrap, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on my next one. Bye bye.